Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. This video is actually beginning with the end. I'm going to stop work for today, but it was supposed to be a guide-ish kind of video about Cambelt change. That is not going to be the case because I'm not going into great details because I don't know this engine, and it's being a bit of a prick actually. No, really, it's just a more complicated engine I normally work on, and I'm just taking my time. There is a lot of small nuts and stuff that holds stuff together, and pipes and no space to do the work on. Really, if I should do this job again, I think I would take the engine out. Because remember, I'm also going to change the water pump, so I'm going to drain the water anyway, and then it's just a bunch of wires and so on. And it could be dropped from below, when I have a lift at least, just by pretty much just unbolting the shock towers and some other small minor bits, and then just lowering the entire thing down. If I had known how difficult it is to change the Cambelt, and keeping in mind that I need to do some other stuff on the engine, I would have taken the engine out actually. But anyway, it's possible to do with the engine in. I'm almost there. I have taken out the Cambelt now. I'm gonna let the video run and show you what I have done to it so far. So grab a cold one and join me in the garage. So I'm just having a good time in the garage together with Mighty Car Mods and Unicorn Circuit. That's a great listen while you work on your cars, I think. As you can see, I removed the headlight. That's just held together with 3 balls and a couple of wires. And I also removed the bonnet, which is also rather easy to remove. It's just hold on to the bracket with 2 bolts each side. You can actually reach them from in here while the hood is down when the front grille is removed. So it's a one-person job if you do it that way. What I have now come to, and that has given me a lot of headache, is I'm trying to remove this this auxiliary belt, I think it's called. This is held on with a tensioner down there that got a Allen, number 7 Allen bolt in there, that holds it in, and then it's tensioned via some sprockets on the back side. It's a pretty weird design. And the number 7 Allen key is not a regular one, a size to have. I only had it in one of these big ones, like these. There was no way that I could fit one of those because of the suspension tower. Therefore, I had to cut it over and remove it so I could get the thing out. Then I shortened that down, and it could fit a number 8 on one side and then into the Allen on the other side. But it was tight. So yeah, and this is a small one, I know, but I can't fit anything in there. I can't get a socket wrench on or anything. So this one bent quite a lot. Now it's useful for those spaces where I can't get the normal one in. But in the end, I got this to fit just barely. And then with a small extension, and I was pretty sure that it was going to break, but it didn't. And now it's actually loose, and that is nice. This has been so much more difficult than I had anticipated, but that is just, yeah, it is very often something you don't expect that is the difficult bit. That is dangerous to say already now, because lots of stuff can go wrong still. If you are watching my channel on a regular basis, you most likely have noticed that I am not... It's pretty rare that I got a 16 valve engine, and it just becomes a bit more complicated to change the Cambelt when it's a 16 valve, due to the fact of 16 valve, 2 camshafts, and also size is normally a bit bigger. And also when it's 16 valve, very often the car is also so new that it also got the servo pump and all that kind of crap. This was extremely difficult to get out. But now I should be able to remove this. And I've heard that the rear end of these with the sprocket tends to break on the bracket itself, so I'm a bit worried to see how it looks. I heard stories that people take the engine out when they change Cambelt on this model, and I can see why. I was close to doing it because of this pulley issue that I just couldn't get loose, but then I got stubborn. This looks nice, and the inside also looks, yeah, I think it's these that, can you see them? I think it's those on the bracket itself on the car that tends to break. Can you see them in there? But they seem to be fine. Then I also got the jack underneath the engine because I actually loosened up the engine to see if I could make more room. And also I need to do that anyway because next up is this cover. This needs to go off and it's attached to this thing. So all of this needs to come off. And then I also noticed something that I need to take care of. The fuel lines run underneath here and up to the fuel rail. And it is, don't know how easy it is to see. But it is really, all the rubber is cracking off, so I need to do something about that. But next up I'm going to take off the wheel. Like that. Right in here is the next one that could be an issue. They can be very stuck. I'm going to use my ratchet gun for this, and some say that's a bad idea. I have never had issues with it, but yeah, have that in mind. I got it off. So the other way to do it is to lock the engine. Some engines got a method to lock them. Others you will have to jam something into the flywheel teeth. I really don't like that, by the way. But yeah, but this is off. It was tough, but it's off. So and now we got access to this. As you can see, the Cambelt has been changed before because someone has painted the markings red. But I was expecting that. This car has done 230,000 kilometers, I think. So, but what I'm going to do next is to remove all bolts that holds on the plastic cover bit and take that off. So I will take you back in a minute when I have done that. And I will also put the engine on the jack stand so that I can remove the bracket right here. See you in a second. So let me show you where I'm at now. This is a lot of work. I'm getting quite dirty, bloody even. This job is not easy. It's not that it's extremely difficult, it's just every nut and bolt you need to get to is difficult to reach, and there's a lot of plastic things that can crack easily and all that. I removed the entire engine mount, and I also removed the fuel lines because I want to do something about them, because they are, yeah, they're just cracking, and I don't like that because that's a hazard. This is just the most beautiful camshaft cover I've seen. This looks so nice. One big aluminum Cambelt cover with the engine mount built into. That's pretty cool. And that gives us access to the Cambelt area. As you can see, there is a red spot right there. And a spot there, and the same on the other one, and we also saw the one in the bottom end. So now I'm going to turn the engine until all those lines up. They line up and they line up. Let's see if the bottom one does that as well. It lines up with something. Well, the most important bit is that it goes on the same way as it came off. As long as this will be the same, then it's fine. And the way that I do this, just to be sure, other than just putting the engine on time, is to take my trusty nail polish and then I'm going to make one spot of paint on the sprocket and also onto the belt, so both the sprocket and the belt got paint on it. Then I'm gonna go to the first camshaft. Then I'm gonna paint or do the same. But on 2 of them. And then on the last one I'm gonna paint 3 of them. So now when I take off the belt, I can transfer the dots to the new belt and then put them on and then make sure that all these dots align as well. Then everything should be fine. Now the right thing would be to have some kind of camshaft locking tool, because when I take this off, I'm sure that one of the cams will turn slightly. I don't have a locking tool, so what I'm going to do is to turn it back when I reassemble it. If they were closer together, then I could use a washer and a bolt to hold it, but that doesn't seem to be possible right here. So I'm gonna do it my way. I think it will work fine. But before so, I'm going to lose the tensioner so we could get it off. And if you do this, you should really get some kind of camshaft locking tool, because I don't know if you saw it, but this one jumped backwards and I was expecting that, but this is just not a very clean way to do it. But it's my car, by the way, so I think I'm okay to do it. So back at where the video started and is going to end. I'm still dirty. I have taken off the cam belt, and I have actually renewed the tensioner already. I'm struggling a bit to renew the idler down there. It's difficult to get at, and I have to remove some plastic bits to get to it actually. So yeah, but the cam belt is off. It's lying over there, and then I need to transfer it to the new ones, the spots, the painted dots that I made, and then I'm going to refit it. And I need to remember to realign this sprocket, because that turned a bit backwards when I removed it, which I knew would happen, and it's not the best way to do it, to be honest, but it's going to work fine. Either way, I will stop the video here because it's very late and very dark outside. Tomorrow I'm going to continue on it, and a very important bit is to actually fix the fuel lines that I found that was so perished, because like right there, don't know if it can focus on it, but this could be very dangerous. So I need to do something about that, and I'm not going to be able to put everything back together before that, because the fuel hoses are routed underneath the engine mount, and it's very difficult to do anything there. So this will be all for this video, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.